you had given me a set of questions, like those were the HR questions. And
Hmm.
before that, you had asked me to write a self biography, like autobiography, like
Hmm.
all the events listed together. So
Hmm.
that was the first phase. And then the second phase was you had given me a set of questions which most likely would be asked in any interview, and those were asked. I can assure you, those were some of the questions which were asked even during the summer internship process.
First of all, like whoever is watching this, I would like to introduce Arvind. So Arvind and I connected last year, and currently Arvind is studying in IIM Lucknow. So how he got the and this video is going to be about how he got to IIM Lucknow, the entire process, how he prepared for CAT, how he prepared for interviews, and how is his life in general at IIM Lucknow. Currently, Arvind is going to intern at Marico, so we'll talk about that a bit as well. So starting from very beginning, okay. So Arvind, I would like to ask you, like, what was your motivation for doing MBA, right? I know money is the biggest motivator, okay. But apart from money, what was something which motivated you? Like apart from career growth, was there anything else because of which you wanted to do an MBA? Like when you started preparing for CAT?
Yeah, Pulkit. So I got the question. So you're saying apart from career growth, anything else that motivated me?
Hmm.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so as per my main motivation was a career growth. Like I believed that doing an MBA, like I was working as an engineer at L&T Technology Services for a couple of years. But
Hmm.
I used to have a mastery of the work over there. And but then I felt that I was lagging behind in that organization, which was very vertical. There was almost 14 layers which I had to cross to
Hmm.
become a CEO or CXO levels. So
Hmm.
I felt like the growth over there was stagnant, and due to which I felt okay, it's a very good decision if I'm taking a break, preparing for CAT, and ensure that I will upskill myself so that I can reach the top stages of any organization. So that was the
Acha.
primary motivation because of which I started pursuing CAT and I chose the career path of MBA.
Acha.
Apart from that,
So,
I can also say that I've heard the stories of MBA colleges. So mostly the top profiles, topmost people in India would be meeting here, and I would say that it has helped me a lot holistically. Like interacting with them, I was able to learn from various experiences. Like not all were the same engineers. I have met lawyers, I have met the CA, CFA professionals, etc. So by meeting them, I was able to understand certain nuances of how a business functions and various departments, and that has helped me a lot to develop in a very holistic manner also.
acha, acha. So, talk about your CAT preparation. Like, did you join a coaching or did you get a coaching online? How much percentile did you get? Which were your weak subjects? Like, start from like the coaching aspect.
Uh, yeah, so the first thing was I gave CAT 2020 without any preparation. Like I just saw some YouTube videos and self read material. I did CAT 2020, but I was not able to secure a good percentile. So post which I felt like maybe I needed a proper guidance to crack the CAT, because I felt CAT is more about the strategy rather than
Hmm.
the subject knowledge. Like if we are able to get the uh, there would be at least 60% of the questions which are easy. If we are able to
Hmm.
choose that 60% question and crack it properly and nail it, we would be easily
Hmm.
able to crack CAT with the 98, 99 percentiles. So I joined Career Launcher Baroda, which was the nearest coaching center to where I was working. And
Hmm.
from there, I was able to meet a couple of professors, and they helped me to orient myself. Like they identified my strengths, my weaknesses, and then told me a plan how to go about attempting the questions. And they helped a lot. And most of which, I would say it was 60% of their the path which they had designed, and the 40% effort was put by myself. Like I had to work out a lot of questions from various books. I needed to ensure that I keep practicing for DALR, because once you leave the practice, you won't be able to. The touch is a very tough thing to regain. Then VARC is also like continuously you have to do the problems. So I would say like it was 60% the guidance of the coaching and a 40% the own effort of myself.
Acha. And you did coaching and preparation, CAT preparation while you were working, or did you leave your job and then you started preparing for everything?
It was a 50-50. I tried
Mm,
to work as well as prepare simultaneously. But
mm,
when I was doing that, the problem mainly which happened was like after the month of August or September, I felt like it was draining me a lot because I had to work for around 10 to 12 hours. And
mm.
then going to prepare, it was like a very hectic task. So by the month of September end, I just quit the job. I was on notice period.
Okay, so you froze
Sorry,
in.
Pulkit, some error is happening. I'm not sure what happened.
No, no issues, no issues.
You're there?
Yeah, yeah, I'm here. Basically, you left your job by the end of September, right? And then you had two
Hello?
months, October
Pulkit?
and November. So I was summarizing what you said. Ki you left your job by September end, right? And in October and November, basically, you prepared like extensively for CAT, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
can you did you set a timetable key or a goal for per day or per week that per week I'll study, let's say 40 hours or per day I'll study 6 hours? Or did you had a goal in mind when you left your job that I would study this much, a timetable?
Yeah, definitely. So I had a goal in mind, I would read at least two articles which would have 3,000 words for English. I would read at least 3,000 words for Hindi. I would read the complete newspaper. I would be able to do around 50% of quant. That was my target set. But
Hmm.
I assure you that if there were 60 days, only 10 days I followed it because the rest of
Hmm.
the days it used to, uh, the efficiency was not there. It was
Okay.
the first 10 days, the efficiency was very high, then slowly it decreased because it became the same and same process. So I felt like after I left the job, I felt I shouldn't have left. Maybe I could have pushed a bit more and I could have continued the job. So that was my feeling.
Okay. Okay. So after you left the job, you went back home and then you prepared on yourself only, right? You set a daily
Yeah,
target.
Yeah, I did that as well as there were
Hmm.
classes online because that was the
Hmm.
COVID lockdown period. So there
Hmm.
were the online classes continued from.
So after this effort, of many months, right? Like, what score did you get, if you can share? And were you happy with your score, or were you feeling a bit down, or something like that?
I got a percentile of 98.96. So I would say like I was both. It was mixed emotions. I would say first I was like
Hmm.
happy.
Hmm.
Then I was just going through the score again and again. Then I felt like what to say, 1 or 2 marks more extra, I would have touched that 99 percentile. Because
Hmm.
outside, when we say it's 99 percentile, that's a different
Hmm.
feel. And then saying 98.96, like that's just a borderline of 99, but still he'll
Hmm.
be considered 98. So that
Hmm.
was like, it was a mixed emotions, I would say.
Hmm. Okay, okay. And when did you get a call from IIM Lucknow and like other calls, other MBA calls?
I guess my first call was SPJMR. So SPJMR,
Okay.
even before the CAT scores were released,
Hmm.
I got it like around December mid or something. The CAT
Hmm.
scores were released by Jan starting or Jan mid Jan end. Yeah, that is I would say like Jan mid to Jan end, almost all the calls came out for me.
Okay, Jan mid to Jan end, basically all the calls.
Yeah,
So
Jan mid to Jan mid to Feb mid. I am not remembering exactly because my first interview was SPJMR, that was Jan 17. But the
okay,
next interview was, I guess, Jan 20th, NMIMS, I guess. Then there was
okay.
another interview like Feb 9th, the CAP interview got scheduled. Then
Hmm.
Feb 14th, there was I guess, some other Rohtak or NMIMS, something like that interview was like. So that was the schedule. Like I can remember by Feb mid, all the calls were released.
Okay. So
Yeah.
then this the first phase has ended, right? You're feeling mixed emotions after the first phase. Obviously, you know by this time that you're getting to get into a good B school, and the second phase has started of interview processes and everything. Right now, I think your best call was from IIM Lucknow only, right? So,
Yeah.
how did you prepare for interview, and what were your feelings during the interview? Uh,
Yeah, so the thing was for preparation, I just took the subscription from you. So I took the plan from yourself. So you had given me a set of questions, like those were the HR questions. And
Hmm.
before that, you had asked me to write a self biography, like autobiography, like
Hmm.
all the events listed together. So
Hmm.
that was the first phase. And then the second phase was you had given me a set of questions which most likely would be asked in any interview, and those were asked. I can assure you, those were some of the questions which were asked even during the summer internship process. So it was so lengthy. Like from I would say like those answers which are prepared in February, you had given me a set of questions, like those were the HR questions. And
Hmm.
before that, you had asked me to write a self biography, like autobiography, like
Hmm.
all the events listed together. So
Hmm.
that was the first phase. And then the second phase was you had given me a set of questions which most likely would be asked in any interview, and those were asked. I can assure you, those were some of the questions which were asked even during the summer internship process, were useful almost till August, September end, till the interviews. So the HR questions which you had given. So I had taken training from you and Rahul, as well as a couple of your friends had taken me interviews as well. So that was how I prepared for the interviews. Like I wrote those answers, practiced them in front of mirror, scheduled mock interviews with whether some answer needed some better version or something, and then it progressed well. Like that's how I prepared for it.
Okay. Okay. So, like once the results came out of IIM Lucknow, how did you feel? Like, were you extremely happy over the world, or were you like, okay, I'm going here, I have to work hard? What were you feeling?
Yeah, I was actually a bit skeptical about IIM. I stayed out of my home from Kerala. Like I am from Kerala.
Hmm.
So for
Hmm.
engineering, I did it in Chennai. So that time also I was
Hmm.
away from home. Then the job, I thought I'll get Chennai. I can go weekly,
Hmm.
but I didn't get that. I got in Baroda. That is like, again,
Hmm.
I used to go only 3 months only. So I was like bit
Hmm.
afraid, like, oh God, I got this college. I'm getting into the fourth best college in India. So that is something different. So I felt like, yeah, it is worth it. So enjoy it. Let's enjoy the painful ride. That's what my thought was after a couple of days.
So before you get into an IIM, right, or a good B school, like everyone tells you that you will have to work very hard, you will have to work 16 hours a day, you will have classes 7 days a week, and
Yeah.
sometimes it happens. But was your experience similar? What you heard about the college, did you find things exactly the same way in the college as well?
Yeah, they were almost exactly the same. Because I would say that maybe this is the rigor which helps the people become the future ready managers. Because I was able to see that more than the academic curriculum, it was the side activities which was taking a lot of our energy. For example,
Hmm.
people used to have to focus on case comps. There would be sports events, there would be some cultural events, there would be the student council election before joining the B school. Like before joining, also you start to prepare your one-pager resume, the HR answers, etc. So I felt like that rigor is what change. I mean, that is what makes us future ready.
Okay, okay.
And I experienced that rigor. Like I in the month of December. That is like after almost 5 months of joining the B school, I got the first Sunday free. So that happens, and that is for the good, I feel.
Okay, okay. So, like among all this rigor, among all the hard work that you have done in past and that you are currently doing in the college, like, uh, do you get a chance to have fun? Like, I know that Sangharsh is going on in the college, and for those of you who don't know what Sangharsh is, it is basically a sports fest of top IIMs. So, like, do you get a chance to have fun in college?
Yeah, definitely. So there were a lot of cultural. I mean, I would say like the towards the end of term two, it was
Hmm.
more like a bit relaxed, especially after the
Hmm.
summer placements. Like
Hmm.
after the summer placements, there were the processes of overtures. That is
Hmm.
basically the selection into clubs and committees. So that
Hmm.
was a rigorous phase where we
Hmm.
had to work almost like full night, etc. and all. But
Hmm.
after which, after the selection had happened, so it used to be like these clubs and committees start conducting events. Then
Hmm.
the number of projects also decreased a bit. The number of case comps also decreased a bit. So that time it was a bit free. So we did definitely have time to chill out. Like there were the party nights. There were the forgot to mention, like after every each and every event there used to be a
Hmm.
insta party where it's like completely, it's like when the sun rises, the party gets over. So that was how it happened. So after the placements, there was a party. After some cultural night, there was a party. Like that, it happened. So
Okay, okay. Like that's great to hear. So for me also, like in the first term, I was extremely like I was completely swamped with the project works and everything. But in the second term, I think you sort of get used to it, right? You sort of get used to the pressure and you sort of just wing it. Ki, yeah, we can do it, right? It's not. It might be a lot of work, but it is not too much pressure on us. At least this is what I felt by the end of, I would say, first semester or mid second semester, basically. It was a lot of work, not, but just because you have a lot of work doesn't mean you should also have a lot of pressure. I was just asking about your internship experience, like uh, when the company started coming and how were your interviews and are you like happy with your current internship?
yeah, yeah, definitely. So, first comes first. So, IIM Lucknow is considered to be a very consulting-oriented campus. So, a lot
Hmm.
of consulting companies come, and around 200 people get hired for they do. But the problem with my profile was they or I don't know whether mine is consulting or not. But I never got a consulting call except from one company, that was GEP. So the first calls were Bain BCG. Like that was a very saddening case. I was like, oh God, we used to do night outs. We used to do a lot of CV reviews, case preps, like caselet preps, etc. So those and all, I felt like it was all the efforts have been gone down the drain. But then when I felt like, yeah, okay, it's fine. Maybe it's not meant for us. There are even more companies coming for because there were consulting. If there are 20 companies, there are around 130 companies more which come for roles like marketing, HR, uh, operations, supply chain, etc. So I felt like, okay, maybe I should just wait for the better call. So as soon as the consulting got over, the finance calls started to come. And to my surprise, I got a couple of finance calls. Like I don't know how I got it, but maybe because of the quant score or maybe because of maths oriented, I just got through. So finance, a couple of calls came, but my orientation was never to the finance. So I just directly told to whoever the buddy or they would be assigning a buddy. So to the buddy, I just told like maybe very quick learner. So if at all I'm getting a chance to work with your company, I'll ensure that I'll deliver my best to your company. So yeah, that was, I mean, I was just honest with the interviewers, and maybe they were like, I mean, coming here, another fact is someone like who's a CA, who's a CFA, because it's a finance role, so they would be a
Hmm.
better. So maybe so then there were marketing roles also. As soon as they started to come, it was like a flood of this one. I can say like I had to give a lot of tests to get these calls, because for each company there is a each test. It might have a psychrometry, it might have a quant based, it might have a cat based, something like that. So I had to give almost a lot of tests, lot of GDs, etc. It was a lot of pressure doing that time, because it used to be like test, then immediately another test, then another 12 to 13 GDs a day. And after the GD, there was a gap, and then the interviews calls so many companies. Because though my profile was not a consulting profile, it was, so I had around 16 interviews, and then I got the second interview as Marico. The first one was Monday, where I had a supply chain role, but I was not able to get through it. So Marico is also equally good company, and it is an Indian company. So I definitely prefer the interview process. Like I showed that I worked. One of the main tip which I felt would help anyone is that know about that company, know about the college. Because if you're knowing much about the company, it shows that you're enthusiastic towards joining the company or joining the company. I knew where their plants are located. I knew their products. I knew how their advertisements have happened, and I knew what can be the challenges they are facing a lot. Like they were impressed with that. So it was a very good experience. Like though I had to give 16 GDs, there were 13 interviews scheduled. So it was getting on my head, like how will I attend 13 interviews? But as my process got immediately over at the second interview, I was like left off for the day. So that was this one, my interview experience.
Okay. Okay. So, Arvind, it was great talking to you.
Yeah,
Like, it would have
yeah,
been
sure.
great if it would have been better if like internet was consistent, but it was still great talking to you.